Yes. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Please do us a big favor before we go any further. Hit like buttons, share buttons, retweet buttons. Please subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. Really important to us that you get that done. Hit the bell notification as well. On top of all of that, thank you. All of our new members that have recently joined in the last few days, thank you. And welcome to the private members Facebook page that you've all signed up to as well. There are exclusive member streams on the way, as well as first look access to multiple other pieces of content here exclusively on the Football Terrace. Tonight, 10 p.m., make sure you tune in. That Liverpool show is back. Takeover night. Gavin from the LFC Day Trippers will be here hosting with Alex, AGT from the COP TV. Grizz will be on. We'll have Stro. We'll have Bizzo. Loads of Liverpool fans talking their transfer rumours. There's also a subject tonight about Brendan Rodgers maybe needing to be sacked. They're bringing this all up. It's their agenda. It's takeover night, 10 p.m. live on the Football Terrace. Make sure you are here. We're here to talk Arsenal and a second bid for Thomas Partey that has been turned down, and it's outrageous. It's outrageous when I read this, and also almost a done. Well, some people are saying it's a done deal. Some saying that things are agreed. Others are saying it's very, very close. Depends on what publication. But Manchester City close to a £20 million signing of Ferran Torres from Valencia. I don't know much about this young lad, but I was looking up at him statistically. Looks very talented. 20 years of age, turning 21 next year. Predominantly plays on the right-hand side, if not the majority of his games there. Looks pretty tasty. Been sitting here looking at some of his dribbling ability, some of his assists, some of his creativity. Looks a very handy young player. Is it just a replacement of Sane? Are we going to see more attacking players come in? What for Phil Foden? He was promised a starting berth. He was promised to be the heir to David Silva's throne. If they sign another player in an attacking position, what does that mean from him? I want to hear from you all. The Skype lines are open. Thank you, by the way, to Rohan for signing up and for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace right now. I really do appreciate that. A lot of people here saying Ferran Torres is a baller. But I'm going to be honest with you. It's the first time I've heard his name mentioned on socials at all. I've heard of the guy, and I'm not too sure where it was I heard his name a little while back. Everyone knows I don't watch European football. I don't pretend like a lot of YouTubers that I'm some connoisseur of European football. Don't know too much about him, but watching him looks a decent talent by what I can say. And I'm quite lucky. I can look at his dribbling. I can look at his attacking duels. There seems to be something there. We've got Ram on the show. Ram, the Liverpool fan. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're gonna go for someone like Ferran Torres. I think he's not the kind of player that they need right now. I still think that a major defender is wanted by Man City if they're gonna go back to really challenging Liverpool for the league.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people on here are talking about how, I know a lot about him. He's great. I've seen 5 people now talk about this, say how much they rate him and how long they've known about him. I've just done an advanced search on their Twitter accounts in the last half an hour. Not one of them has ever tweeted about this guy. And the way I look at it is this. Everyone knows how much I like. You could find lots of tweets from me about Verratti. You'll find lots of tweets from me about Sancho over the last couple of years because I truly know about them and want them. Does that make sense? So a lot of people go, no, I've always known him. I've always raved about this kid. I'm like, bro, you're active on socials. You've never tweeted about the guy once. What you've done is you've gone and watched a couple of YouTube clips since this news broke, and you're going to try and act like you know anything about him. It's an interesting one. Let's see how he does. I'm not going to judge it either way. What is interesting for me, though, and we spoke about this on the show a while ago, Phil Foden has reportedly been promised a more of a regular starting berth when David Silva leaves. Now, I understand that this signing of Torres is more of a replacement of Sane.
You're going to say Sane? I don't think so.
But yeah, you don't think so? Why not? Tell me why. If you know about this kid, tell me why.
I've heard about this kid, and he's nothing like Leroy Sane. If I've heard of him, like he's nothing like him. Like Leroy Sane is like a kind of guy that's direct, likes to run with the ball. He likes to take a shot. He likes to run at defenders. Ferran Torres is much more of a technical winger, a bit like Riyad Mahrez in a sense that he likes to take it, do a little nice footwork, give and goes and here and there, but nothing like Leroy Sané. I'm a bit confused about this signing. If it is to replace Sané.
I suppose this is what I would say. You can replace someone without being the same as them. So from a positional sense, this Torres, from what I can see when I look at his heat maps, when I look at the footage of him, and I've been looking at his dribbles for the last half an hour or so, he appears to be somebody who plays on that, who plays on the right-hand side. He hugs that touchline. So he's definitely a wide player. It's just whether or not you think he's coming in to replace Sané. My concern as an Englishman is for the development of Phil Foden. And I worry because I do feel like City are going to sign. If City go out and sign another really good attacking midfield player, where does that then leave Phil Foden? For me, because Foden plays centrally and out wide, and they're signing these youngsters. It's just an interesting one to look at. What do you make of the? We haven't actually gone through the Arsenal deal as well, but Arsenal. Listen to this: Arsenal have reportedly gone back to Atletico Madrid again, offered the same money, but just a different player. It's undisclosed who the secondary player is. They've done the same bid again, and it's been rejected again with Atletico Madrid. Are Arsenal out here just having fun with their fans? What's going on in your opinion there?
We've had this conversation on Twitter about this deal, and I think if they're going to do something like that, they're going to. I think Atletico are going to look at other clubs like Inter Milan. Inter Milan are heavily interested in him, and they're willing to pay the money. If they keep on dilly-dallying and putting a little nice bit here, a little bit over there, they're not going to do anything, and they're going to miss out on a top quality player.
Yeah, this is what I read here. It said Atletico Madrid this week have already rejected an offer from Arsenal for Thomas Partey when they bid £25 million plus out of favour midfielder Matteo Guendouzi. A secondary bid has been turned down for the same monetary sum and an additional undisclosed player. So it's an additional player on top. You know, sort of sitting there thinking they clearly don't want any of your he clearly don't want any of Arsenal's reject players. They just want the £45 million. Arsenal, pay it. By the way, I've got all these clips up here of Ferran Torres, and I've just seen an assist that he created against Espanyol a week or so ago. Very nice pass. It's got the ball. Explain it to everyone because I can't share it. He's got the ball just on the right, probably the right of centre, maybe 6-7 yards into the opponent's half, and he threads this ball outside of the Espanyol defence, which is tucked away. It's a very nice pass. That's just one little thing that I've watched. Also today, I've gone through and accumulated how many mistakes that Koulibaly's made at the back. And I'm making a little montage video, and I'm going to compare it to the amount of mistakes honestly, some of them are so comical, like him falling, trying to pass simple balls, and he misses the ball and falls over, and players run through and score. And I'm like, I think Koulibaly's really good, but it's interesting that he's made worse mistakes, more comical mistakes this season than Maguire, but yet everybody's acting like Maguire is a clown for making them. So it's either they're both clowns, or maybe we just don't understand football like we say we do. I love Y-Scout. Y-Scout's the best app in the world because you can look at the statistics and then all the video evidence that backs them up. So someone might have 10 assists versus your player's 10 assists, but I can then assess whose assists were better. It's amazing. We're trying to add more people to this call. Sometimes Skype allows you to conjoin calls. Other times it doesn't, and it's really bloody annoying. We've just added a new call. I don't know what your name is because you haven't got your name displayed, but what is your name?
Shrey Terry. I did call before, but I changed my account. So
there we go. Listen, what do you make of this? Either one of these two deals, which of the two do you want to talk about?
I would like to talk. I'm not really interested in Man City, Terry, though, because what they do, I don't really find anything authentic about Man City. No disrespect. I would like to talk about Arsenal rather.
Go for Arsenal. Go for it.
I just called to take the piss out of Arsenal, to be honest with you, because I actually thought that they would get the deal done, to be honest with you. I think as a United fan, I think Arsenal, look, in comparison to other clubs, I think Arsenal is the only club I respect. I respect Liverpool, but I don't like them. So with Arsenal, I think their board is not serious at all. Because if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be worried right now, because Man City and Liverpool were already the best two teams in the league. Now we are strengthening, maybe signing Sancho and one other, and Chelsea are buying like mad. So if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be worried. Challenging, I think it would be difficult for them if their board does not act seriously and does not offer great best. I think they would struggle to break into the top four for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what's crazy about it? Like I say, I look at this Thomas Partey is willing to join Arsenal without any European football as a guarantee. He's available for £45 million, which in my opinion is a snip. And they're messing around with it. You know, it's interesting, really. If Man United right now were offered Jadon Sancho for, say, 60 mil, but they have to pay 60 mil, I would be mortified if we tried to haggle further on that. Like, this deal doesn't need to be haggled. Haggling is needed.
That's exactly my point.
It's crazy. No, mate, I agree with you. Arsenal Football Club right now are behaving like jokers. We've added Ali Osman to the call. Ali, what do you want to say, bro?
Yes, I want to talk about Arsenal because.
Oh, actually, Ali, before we go any further, why is nobody linked with Isaac at the moment? Anyway, go on, mate. Go on. Speak about Arsenal. Go on.
Okay, about Arsenal. I think it's time for us. You know, when we talk about the Premier League 6, yeah? I think it's time to reconsider Arsenal. I think Leicester City and Wolves have now overtaken them. They're bigger clubs than Arsenal right now. Like the news you just spoke, that
bigger or better? Bigger or better?
Better right now. But okay, better.
Okay.
Let me correct myself, better. Because the news you just broke right now, a second bid rejected. Like, why don't they just pay the money? Things like that is
exactly what I would say about a second bid being rejected. If they increased their offer and said 30 million, 32 million plus a player, I'd say, well, at least they're increasing it. It's the fact that they've just tried to add another deadwood player, and they're trying to get rid of their crap players. It's not like they've said, look, we'll give you Lacazette. And I know we all wind Lacazette up, Lacazette, but Lacazette is a good striker. It's not like they're saying, listen, take Lacazette and 28 million. I don't know who they've added on. You know, it's going to be some dead baller that no one cares about, no one wants.
Guendouzi or Ozil, maybe, I guess.
It's just also, it's awful. It's just awful business by them. And on what you've said there, we're thinking about making that a subject on the Football Terrace very soon, and maybe giving Arsenal one more season to get themselves back into the top 6. Otherwise, we remove them from Football Terrace conversations because they're no longer part of our remit. Wow. They're no longer. They're basically they're on the road to they're on the road to becoming Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, because Chelsea and United are very strong, and the top 4 looks settled to me for the next 2 or 3 years until one of either Chelsea or United collapse dramatically, and I don't see that happening.
Bro, they're not even in the top 7. Like, Wolves and Leicester are better than them now. They have better players than them. They're finishing above them in the league. Like, we can't be talking about Arsenal as the big 6 anymore. We can't be. I think when Aubameyang goes, they're finished.
Terry, does it disclose who the other player was?
No, it just says undisclosed player.
Because I was thinking about the steal. They're not playing Torreira, and I feel Torreira would fit Simeone's system.
He could.
And apparently Torreira's out of favour under Arteta. So I'm surprised why they're not offering him.
Yeah,
why are they even offering players?
But I get that.
It's so cheap. It's a bargain at that release clause, at that price.
No, I do understand that. I suppose the way I would look at it, though, is it's about wanting the player. So Torreira has a market value of about 30 to 35 million pounds. So if you're offering him plus 25 million, that's over the asking price. So that sounds good. But Atletico Madrid have got to want him. And this is the thing when it comes to players. People, I keep hearing United fans say, I want Van de Beek more than Grealish. Yeah, but if Grealish doesn't want to come, your wishes mean nothing. You know, people say, "Oh, I don't value a player at X." What have you got to do? No fan has got anything to do with player valuations. With fans, the clubs and the sports consultancies dictate the prices based on the metrics. My opinion that I think so-and-so's overpriced is irrelevant. And it's the same as this. The fact that you or I think Torreira will be a good make weight, clearly nobody that they've been offered yet is who they want. So, and if you know that's not what they want, imagine Atletico were just to listen, there's none of your players that we want in a swap deal. Okay, but we're going to offer them to you anyway. Why? Even it doesn't make any sense. You don't know. No club wants to sign players that they don't want. Even it just doesn't. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's just stupidity from Arsenal. Stupidity. Or maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe it's a case of let's just put bids in that we know are never going to be accepted, so we can show our fans that we're trying without actually trying.
Terry, I feel as if I don't know if this was true. Apparently, there were rumors about, back in the day when Felipe Coutinho was wanted by Barcelona and they offered around about 80 million. We just straight up said, no, we'll keep him for the season. Come back to us because the bid was just not good enough.
No, what happened in that instance, just to reiterate that, what went on in that circumstance was they bid a huge amount and it was like the 130, 140 million you wanted. But the situation was that the clauses within it. So it was 80 million pounds. No. This is what
summer. It was a summer before
yes,
that.
Yes. Let me explain. So it was 140 odd million pounds. However, only 80 million of it was a guarantee. The other add-ons were almost impossible to achieve. It was things like 20 million or 25 million extra if in one particular season Barcelona were to win the Champions League and Philippe Coutinho was the Ballon d'Or winner in the same calendar year, which it's so like the likelihood of that happening all at the same time. Liverpool were like, well, that's just too obscure. And there were other stipulations within it. So to go from 80 to 140 million, it was almost like Philippe Coutinho had to be the best player in the world for 2 or 3 years and Barcelona win all the trophies that they played in for that period of time, which is so unrealistic. Liverpool just said, well, no, because theoretically, we're only ever going to pay you 80 million. We're only going to get 80 million pounds. And that's the thing. You can add these add-on clauses all you like, but there has to be a plausible way of getting it. Like Man United's clause with Sporting was for us to qualify in the next 2 seasons for the Champions League to get an extra 4.5 million. That's achievable. If it would have been, we have to qualify in the next couple of years, and at the same time as that, Bruno has to be named as the sports writer and the PFA Player of the Year and be nominated in the top 3 for the Ballon d'Or, it's a stupid deal. Because how likely are all those things to happen at the same time? Do you get where I'm coming from? And that's what Arsenal are doing now for me. They're putting in silly bids that I think they know are going to be rejected just so they can sit back and say, but we did try. We did try our best. For me, they're not trying at all. I really don't think they're trying at all. And by the way, I'm trying to add David to this call, but it's not letting it merge. It must be something wrong with your settings, David, because I'm even calling you back now, and it's not adding you to the call. It's very, very weird indeed. Get your comments in, though. I want to know what you're all thinking and feeling on this. Super chat here says, check Diego Carlos on your Scout app, City Links. Okay, I'll have a look at the guy later.
I think he's a defender from Sevilla.
Yes, he's a centre-back. Wait, Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How you doing, mate?
I'm good.
Yeah, what do you make of this Arsenal situation?
I mean, it's like if you're struggling now to put up 45 million for a player who you know is definitely going to improve you, what is the rest of your chances going to look like for the season?
Yeah. I don't even want to laugh because it sounds like I'm being salty. I'm actually not trying to wind Arsenal fans up. I feel like I'm on your side here. Like I'm legit on your side.
It's hard not to laugh because this is a quality player and they're just messing about with the actual transfer. They're just putting little offers, you know? You need to show some respect.
What's it? To be fair to Arsenal, I don't think Partey is the kind of player that they need. I mean, he fits the description of like the defensive midfielder who can go through the midfield and the ball and so on. But I feel like it's the wrong age range for them because in order for them to get back where they want to be, they're going to have to almost effectively say for the next 2 or 3 years, we're not going to be competing at that level, but we need to build a squad who in that next 2 or 3 years can grow to be at that level.
I get that.
Wait, Terry, can I answer
I get
this?
that. Go on, mate. Go on.
Because Liverpool were in that similar situation where we wanted to sign young players, and I think this is the kind. I think this is the kind of signing which stops you from being the kind of club that builds up players and then sells them off and make a huge profit. I feel like I get what David means, and like you need to buy young players because they will last longer. You'll get a better feel of the club. The future will be much more brighter. But on the other hand, it also means that you're going to be known as a club that just develops players and doesn't win anything. I feel
unfortunately for them, they're not run like Liverpool.
So this is what I was about to say. Sorry. So there's two things. Sorry, go on, David. Finish, David. Go on, mate.
I was going to say, like, no matter like how you think Liverpool is this amazing system that works, it's because it's run by their owners. Arsenal's owners clearly aren't at that level because they needed to sign so many players, yet they went and spent 72 million on a guy who had one good season in France. So do you think, like genuinely, Ram, if Pepe is available, Liverpool were never going to splash the kind of money on him?
Yeah, of course, because obviously we're not going to spend 72 million pounds on a player that's going to be sitting on the bench. That's completely absurd. Like, if you're going to do that, then you're just throwing money away.
Yeah, you've only spent big money on players.
This is what it comes down to, boys. Squad. This is it depends on what model you want. So I haven't actually had the debate yet, but the lad who comes on from Guna Talk TV, I can't remember his name right now. It's really rude of me. I'll remember it later. It's going to come back to me, and I forgot. Sorry, mate. But he sort of said to me, when we didn't sign Haaland, I kind of said, I'm glad we didn't do that stupid buyout deal. And he said, you'd love to have him, though. I said, of course I would, but I wouldn't want the deal because I don't want to be Bayern Munich. And the argument was, sorry, I don't want to be Borussia Dortmund. And the pushback was, well, they're better than you right now, which I agree with. At that moment in time, Borussia Dortmund were, and maybe still are at this exact moment, a better footballing team than us. And they have been a better run club, but they set their ceiling much lower than I would ever want Man United's ceiling to be set. So the point being, although Dortmund over the last 7 years have definitely been run better than us, and pretty much over that whole period of time played better football than us, I would never want to copy their model because their model is to do exactly what David has just said there. You buy young, you build up, you sell for a profit, as an example. That's their model. You could do it the other way where you want to buy young or you want to buy like early to mid-20s and then you want to turn these players into superstars. You make a team that then goes on to win. That's a different kind of model, which I think Liverpool have sort of gone along with. Does that make sense? You bought for a few big stars, broke some records, but a lot of your players are bought for kind of the middle range money. So not small money, not gigantic money, but middle range money. And you've built them into players that are now worth hundreds of millions of pounds.
Sorry,
one sec, mate.
Range?
What? Middle range.
Middle range.
So in the time they were bought, in the market, they were in between sort of 25 and 40 million. That's mid-range for me. And I put your Mo Salahs, your Manes into that kind of category. You've had some of the other end, the 70 odd millions and the Allisons of this world as an example. So yeah, there we go. Okay. And that's a model where you're looking to build a team for yourself. When you build a team for yourself, though, yes, you buy some young players, you bring some through, but then you look at it, you then need your Thomas Parteys. You need your 26, 27, 28-year-olds to come in and complement the young up-and-coming talent. So when I look at Arsenal, where I disagree with you, David, is this. I think they've got some really good youngsters on the way through, and they're going to try and buy some more. But then I think what you need is established players. Man United improved dramatically this year because of the likes of Maguire and Bruno adding that experience and age. And although I'm excited for Sancho to come in as an example, I still look at the Grealishes of this world and think that's also important. Someone in their mid-20s who's that little bit older, a bit more experienced, maybe a bit more mature, that can help move us forward. I think if you just go after these youngsters, you end up being more of a Borussia Dortmund style team, which is great. You'll play nice football. You'll be relatively competitive for a year or two, and then those players will be sold on to bigger clubs. Or you want to try and build something how Liverpool have done, where you buy some young, some middle age, some slightly further on in their careers, but you're trying to create a team that can win now. And by the time your elder states, so the way Arsenal should look at it is this: if you sign Thomas Partey, by the time he's past his best in 5-6 years' time, your youngsters are now hitting their peak, and then all you have to do is replace Thomas Partey. The problem you've got is Arsenal, you don't want to build a team like Man United have had for the last 2 or 3 years, where our best players have been our young players. That isn't conducive. What you need, your best players, generally speaking, need to be your elder statesmen. Arsenal need to go out there and buy elder statesmen, unless they want to become more of a Borussia Dortmund, or unless their fans are prepared to wait 5-6 years. And the problem with waiting 5-6 years, you never know what's going to develop. You never know what's going to come of it. And if in 2 or 3 years' time, and Martinelli and Saka are talented, right? We all agree. But in 2 or 3 years' time, they're not looking like they're going to win anything. Those boys are leaving. And so I think that Arsenal have got to get the balance right on this. The problem is, they're not going to. There's a comment here from Will Taylor, a super chat, says, Arsenal are being disrespectful to Partey, in my opinion. This gives more time for Atletico to come in and back with a new contract. There is definitely an element of that. A few more super chats. Terry, would you have Partey at United? Yes, I would, 100%. Hi, Terry. Are you accepting Skype calls? Yes, I am, as best we can. But no, I mean, what do you think Arsenal are trying to build, David? What do you think is their model?
To be honest, I have no idea anymore. I'm like, it's really gone missing. But I always say, like, when you know who their owner is, and because their owner owns a lot of sports teams,
yeah,
and Arsenal is the smallest one out of all the ones he owns. So I understand why he doesn't put as much money into them as the other teams do. But at the same time, it's like, this is one of the biggest, like, all the banter aside, they're one of the biggest clubs in England, if not Europe. And like, they're just heading down this path of, I can't see what's going on. Most Arsenal fans can't see what's going on. Arteta's having to say, like, I actually need this help. Like, he's having to openly come out and say it. I don't think that's like a conducive environment to actually grow your team.
Yeah, I agree, and it's again, I agree. It isn't a clear. Again, clubs are never going to reveal their plans, because why would you? They have to. There's an element of cloak and dagger that's needed, but it isn't clear what they're trying to do yet. Maybe the proof will be in the pudding. But I think if you were trying to build a team that over the next 2 or 3 years competes for titles, you need players of Thomas Partey's age, because you're going to need experience in there. I can't see how you do it just by buying Martinelli's and promoting Saka's. I think you'll have a great young squad. You've got to think, right? Leeds United under David O'Leary in the late 90s tried to do something similar to Man United's class of 92. The problem was their best players were their young players, and they just never had enough to get over the line. Man United, when our academy players came through the class of 92, they were surrounded by Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce and Eric Cantona, Brian McClare. Andy Cole was brought into the club. They were established champions already. Does that make sense? And Roy Keane, they had all these players around them who could win them games and nurture them through. Thomas Partey, players of that ilk, are needed at Arsenal more than ever. And if they don't sign him, I'm sorry, they're not making top 6 at the very least next year. We've added TD to this. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Yeah, like what you've been said, I 100% agree with it. And just letting you guys know, the second guy that was offered was Lacazette to the Atletico deal. So I'm just letting you guys know that was the second player that was offered. One football app was the second player that was. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. So it was, it's all over like social media. So yeah.
Wow. That's also amazing in the sense that I think Lacazette's a decent enough player, but they've turned that just shows you it might not even be about the player. It's a case of just give us the damn money, get it done. And yeah, it's mad. It's mad that do you know what? There's this part of me that, from a logical point of view, they could probably get more money if you think they're basically offering Lacazette up as a £20 million offering. Surely they get more than £20 million in the market for Lacazette, right? That's my opinion. I think if you put him on the market now, you get more than £20 million for him. Meaning if you're offering 25 plus him, you're losing value. That is why I can't get out the back of my mind this notion that Arsenal are not really trying to sign Thomas Partey. They're just appearing to try and sign him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I think the reason I think Arteta is trying to get rid of Lacazette because he's obviously got Gelson Fernandez coming in, obviously as I pointed out before, and I think he's going to be played predominantly on the left wing, and I think that Aubameyang is going to be shifted towards the middle if the rumors are to be believed. So, I mean, personally for me, I think Arsenal just screwing around with Partey. I think it's either comes down to one of three things. Are they screwing around as you said before, to prove that they're actually trying? Are they screwing around just because they want to see which player gets accepted and they want to sort of increase the offer, or are they screwing around, to prove that we're broke and so that we can ask for lower prices for other players? It has to be one of those three for me, we don't know which one it's going to be ultimately. So, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing just feels very, 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 very strange indeed, and something don't feel right. And I get why Lee Gunner is so scathing about his team at the moment, because it just appears that the fans are being led up the garden path. It's a shame, really. I just can't understand or see how Arsenal are so broke. It doesn't make any sense.
Who's Gelson Fernandes?
He's a young Portuguese lad.
17-year-old
Isn't
Portuguese.
it Joelson? Joelson.
Is it Joelson?
Gelson. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
He's like the problem with that signing as well is that you don't want him to be like another. There's a young Portuguese winger from Sporting that was similar to him, very fast, very tricky, called Gelson Martins, and he went to Atletico Madrid and absolutely flopped. So you don't want that kind of situation happening in Arsenal.
Yeah,
you don't want to pin your hopes on a guy who's 17.
This is how Google Translate pronounces it in Portuguese. Let's see what they say.
Joelson Fernandes.
Joelson. So they say Joelson in Portuguese. In English, it's pronounced
Joelson Fernandes.
Joelson, like Al Joelson. Let's try it in Spanish. This is what gets confusing. Like sometimes let's see how the Spanish would do it.
Joelson Fernandes.
No, they'll say Joelson. So we'll go with Joelson. We'll go from there. Look, boys, as I say, from my point of view, Joelson Fernandes is an interest. If you're going to drop £40 million on him, you have to be so sure that he's going to deliver. I get worried though about these young players moving, because your Cristiano Ronaldos are they're so few and far between. I see more of an issue. I see more of a Renato Sanchez situation happening for Arsenal here. Imagine dropping £40 million on this kid and he flops. You got Pepe that doesn't get any better, Saka that's still inexperienced. Arsenal fans will be beside themselves. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy.
Terry, that's the big critical issue. I think. I mean, as obviously there's another Arsenal fan here. It's sometimes getting increasingly difficult to back the process. It does get difficult sometimes, and we just have to try and sort of numb the pain and sort of like
drink alcohol,
hope and believe, and we, as an Arsenal fan, we do have a saying, and it's the hope that kills you, because we hope and pray that things are going to be different. And obviously, at the start of like last summer, we signed Pepe, and we're like, oh, good, we're going the right direction, and then we get slapped in the face. And
no, I get that. We've added Prime to this. Prime, what you saying, bro?
Hi, Terry. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah. I think with Arsenal, I don't think that, like with the Partey deal, it kind of reminds me of what they did with Suarez. Like just going a pound over his asking price and stuff like that. I just think it seems to me that their board or their owners, they're trying to appease the fans by trying to look as if, we're going for the top players, but they just don't want to. Something like that, pushing and improving the team and making them better.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I feel the same. I just read a report here. There's reports that are claiming that Arsenal have contacted Villa about Grealish. Could you imagine? Like, I don't think
he's used to carrying teams.
Yeah, true. But I mean, I look at it this way: like Grealish walks into the Arsenal team, and they're never getting £80 million for him, Villa. But I don't see Arsenal paying another English team more £60 million for a player. Having said that, they were prepared to pay $70 million for an absolute. I looked at the statistics, right? In double the amount of minutes on the field of play, Wilfried Zaha, who Arsenal were prepared to pay $70 million for, has produced almost just 1/3 of the amount of chances created by Jack Grealish in double the amount of time, which is crazy. So I just don't get what they're looking at. I don't understand the types of players that they're after. It really doesn't make any sense. And look, Jack Grealish would certainly improve Arsenal, but I don't see a big difference at the moment between Arsenal and Villa.
And like the other thing too is Terry. Like there's reports coming out like the other day that we're still looking at Zaha. And obviously you mentioned before just now we're looking at Grealish and we're looking at like Gabriel as well, and obviously Lang Sarr as well, and obviously Partey as well. So like there is all these things. So like I just like whatever the players we end up signing, I just want to get a wriggle on. We only have like a month and a bit to get everything done before the season starts. I just want us to get a wriggle on. If Partey's the guy, get it done. I don't want us far knuckling around about like money. And if 40 or 50 mil is what they want, just offer the money and just get it done. You know, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting to the point now where it's just like it's getting quite obnoxious and just them just screwing around. I just want them to get it done. That's it.
Yeah, no, I do hear that from. I get that completely. I would strap yourself in for a very bumpy ride, young man. Listen, I appreciate you all coming on, having your say. We'll chat to you all again soon. This is everyone who's tuning in right now. Tonight, 10 p.m. on the Football Terrace. That Liverpool show is back, talking all things Liverpool, talking their Thiago move, talking their link to Sancho, talking about their want for Brendan Rodgers to be called out. Do me a big favor, hit the like button right now. Nearly 1,200 people tuning into this stream. Please all smash that like button right now. It's really important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. But until next time, take care of yourselves, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.